guys, it's Dylan here at J-Tech, and today I'm going to explain to you power flow in a manual transmission. Right here we got the Edenfield Road Ranger 10-speed transmission. Now, on a normal transmission in automotive, you have a main axle and then you have a countershaft. On a 10-speed, the only difference is we have another countershaft. The reason we have another countershaft is because in the diesel industry, all we care about is more torque. And the way that these gears are, they say that if I put 2 gears onto this one, I'm getting more contact, more torque, and less likely chances to chip or break any teeth. And in our industry, that's very important because 1,000,000 miles is what we aim for. Now, the way that this works is it all comes from the engine. When it comes from the engine, it comes in through this input. As this input spins, it's always spinning, just like this, always. Now, once it comes in, this is not first gear, this is 5th gear. As it comes in, it separates your 2 countershafts, which are always spinning. They actually spin just like this the entire time you're running. This is your reverse gear. It runs off of an idler. And the way that reverse works is it uses this 2nd gear over here to spin it counterclockwise instead of clockwise. That's how reverse will always work. These down here are your sliding clutches. They slide into every gear. So say you wanted to go to reverse, as your shaft was spinning, you would use your shifter, and what happens is your shifter has forks that touch down in these little grooves in each one of these sliding clutches. Now as you do that, obviously you have to push on your clutch, which has a clutch brake in it, which is further up into here in your auxiliary box. Now what happens is it slows down the main shaft just enough to get this gear, the sliding clutch, into the gear, like this, to prevent grinding and wearing of teeth early. Now, as you do that, once you lock into a gear, like say now we're in first, as you spin the main shaft, you see that reverse is the only gear that spins the opposite way. See how it spins backwards? It's due to another gear that's floating. This is a reverse setup. And what it does is it switches this in your auxiliary box, your output, to go the opposite way. That's how reverse works. Now, the way that power flows through the transmission from first gear, it will come in through your main shaft, which is obviously going to be going to your counter shafts, and your counter shafts direct the power flow up to the certain gear that you're locked into. The reason why we put first gear towards the back and 5th gear towards the front is because if I took first gear and put first gear back here, with the amount of torque that you have to put through it to start it comes down to physics. Once something is in motion, it stays in motion. It's easier to keep it in motion than it is to start it. So if we move it closer, we shorten up that little span, so less likely to snap the main shaft. So we keep it towards the back instead of the front. Now here at the front we have a 1-to-1 ratio, which is every time this gear spins 1 time, the counter shafts is spun 1 time. And as you get further along, these ratios are going to continue to increase as these ratios continue to decrease. Now, what I mean by that is I'm not saying that these turn less than these. That's not true. What I'm saying is the gear sizes get smaller. These are still going to turn less than these will. Now, the whole purpose of a transmission is to direct power flow to your rear differentials to obviously get power. Now once everything is flowing through properly, obviously this transmission is at a time because I can no longer spin it. If it was timed properly, it would spin freely, but it does not. That's another way to tell if somebody rebuilt an engine, a transmission the proper way. Now I'll get more into depth on it later, but for right now, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.